This is Wrap the News, and this is Orion's Belt. Today we're going to be focusing on the shoulder of Orion's Belt called Betelgeuse. Say that 3 times. Anywho, Betelgeuse, the Orion's Belt, is called the hunter. If we read the scriptures, we know that the hunter is referred to as Cain and Esau. And basically, supposedly, Betelgeuse is a star 100 times larger than our sun. It's not that big, but way larger than our sun. And I'm winging this off the top of my head. I'm not going to give you fact for fact for fact for fact, because basically I'm only looking at it as the sign. And so basically this could possibly be an end time sign. Like God said, there will be signs in the sun and the moon, there'll be signs in the stars, there'll be signs in the heavens. And I believe 100% this is a sign, and it could be a sign for God's people being taken out. I believe that it's a possibility, not a fact, a possibility that if Betelgeuse goes supernova and explode and leave a big huge light in the sky like in people's dreams, that is kind of like a sign where God's chosen elect could be taken out during that, because all of their focus is going to be on that star. Everybody's going to be looking up at the sky, and then God can be taking his people out at the same time. Not saying it's a fact, saying it's a possibility. Everybody understand that? And so basically I believe 100%, when I first heard about this, that could be the possible sign for God's people to be taken out. While everybody's looking at the sky and focused on that, we'll be taken to a safe place. Let's get into it. So like I said before, people, my brain works, and if something matches, then my brain will put it together like in an art form. And so this woman's dream and what's going on with Betelgeuse in the heavens matches.
We were just looking at the sky.
We were just looking at the sky, and it was really low but big, and it took up almost the whole sky. After a while, a planet that I thought was Saturn started appearing. It started overlapping over the moon. But it started to fade in. It just appeared out of nowhere.
Okay.
And it was kind of freaky at first, and then all of a sudden the moon started to do this weird kind of charging effect, and it was emitting like this kind of light, and it looked similar to this.
Okay.
And that's how it emitted.
Okay.
And then after, that went on for a good maybe 20 minutes or so.
So after this planet came into the atmosphere and went before the moon, then the moon started emitting that,
But none of these other planets were there.
None of these were there, okay.
It was just these two.
These two, okay. And what did I say? I said, no, that's not Saturn, that's Jupiter.
Yeah, you were telling me that that's not Saturn, that's Jupiter.
Okay, these two, okay. And what did I say? I said, no, that's not Saturn, that's Jupiter.
Yeah, you were telling me that that's not Saturn, that's Jupiter.
Okay, these two, okay. And what did I say? I said, no, that's not Saturn, that's Jupiter.
Yeah, you were telling me that that's not Saturn, that's Jupiter.
Okay, and it had the ring around it like that.
It had the ring,
That's why you thought it was Saturn. Okay.
And then all of a sudden, as the moon started to charge, I guess you could say, it started bursting out of these waves of energy. And I have an example, but it's not all these colors. It's a solid blue.
Solid blue, okay.
The outside is like a dark blue, and as it goes forward throughout the sky, it turns into a lighter blue, but it looks similar to this.
Oh, so that was all blue.
That's all blue, and that's how it started to charge, and it exploded the whole sky.
Betelgeuse.
Betelgeuse is so big that if you were to place it in our own solar system, it would stretch to the orbit of Jupiter.
This is one of the biggest beasts in the galaxy. It's a star also that is on the verge of death.
Betelgeuse is less than 10 million years old. But this huge star's days are numbered. It's ready to blow. And when it does, we'll see a region of sky brighten for 14 days until it's nearly as bright as a full moon.
It is going to be one of the most spectacular shows in history. And it could happen at any moment.
And the whole sky turned into that blue color across the sky.
And then right as the second charge, or the first charge came, all these different planets started to appear.
Okay, which ones appeared first? Do you remember?
They just all appeared like at once.
At once.
As the wave went, they all appeared.
Oh, okay.
And then,
okay. So you said another one came in after this one and created another charge.
Yeah, well, the moon created two charges.
Okay.
It was the first one, and then after the first one, all these planets appeared, and then after the second one, it did it again. Except after the second charge, it went onto the Earth. And as the shock wave went and covered the whole Earth, it took down trees, it took down house debris, it took down everything with it.
So, cars and trucks?
Cars flying everywhere. All of it's flying back. People, debris.
So as this magnetic charge, you said that like a warm breeze or something, the first didn't affect us?
The first was in the sky.
Okay, we were just
watching. The second was on the Earth.
The second was on the Earth.
At about 950 times bigger than our sun, Betelgeuse is one of the biggest stars in our universe. But that comes with a price. Just like us, stars have a life expectancy, and Betelgeuse is no different. It's a ticking time bomb that's ready to go, but we're not sure when. So, what if today was the day Betelgeuse went out with a bang? How would the Earth be affected? And would our universe ever be the same?
Cars and trucks.
Cars flying everywhere. All of it's flying back. People, debris.
So as this magnetic charge, you said that like a warm breeze or something, the first didn't affect us?
The first was in the sky.
Okay, we were just watching.
Second was on the Earth.
The second was on the Earth.
What sort of damage could an exploding star do to Earth? Well, think of stars as being like nuclear power plants. If they explode, you're looking at a disaster of cosmic proportions. Anything within 50 light years of the exploding Betelgeuse will suffer massive shockwaves and be inundated with dust and radiation. Will you survive the celestial eruption?
That's when I shared this very quick vision that the Lord gave me. The Lord took my spirit of the earth, and I remember the Lord saying to me and showing me a cluster of stars, and He said, "This is Orion's belt." And I saw a road between the clusters of stars and Earth. And some of the stars, well, most of the stars, I saw them jumped onto the road and traveled down until they reached Earth, and they were all jumping onto the Earth, and then the vision ended. When I woke up, I said, Orion's belt. What is Orion's belt? I have never ever heard about Orion's belt. And I went on the internet, and yes, there is some stars, I think, that is called Orion's belt, and I think that God is speaking here, although I don't fully understand the vision, but I believe that the Lord is saying something, and I believe that the answer will come to me very soon.
So I was going to make this video very deep and entailed, but I decided not to at the last minute because it's going to be like hours explaining what I'm trying to explain, but I'll say it in short. It seems as though when God created the star system out there, the star system tells a story, you know, and that's why we point to Orion and all these things. It's being exploited by demons, you know, by the Satans. It's been exploited, but the star system itself tells a story that points towards God. Being exploited by demons, it it leans more towards demons and Gentiles. It's like worship them as gods instead of God. And so basically Satan takes everything and he kind of like twisted it all around. But if you look at the star system, once you start understanding the order of the star system, and that all of these things have order and everything else, all of that point towards the creator, not the creation. And so basically our 400 years of captivity is done. The 70 years that Israel was supposed to spend over there, the false Israel, is done. The Magog and Gog war is on. The earthquakes, the volcanoes, the fire coming down, meteorites, the oceans rising and everything else is all happening. There's nothing left, folks, except for boom. That's all I'm saying. And then while saying that, God is not playing with sinners. You can keep trying to wash things in the blood of Jesus, but you ain't going to be able to, and you're going to regret taking that path. Stop sinning. Get your life completely together that is satisfactory to God. You're not going to hide one single fact from God. He knows everything that you're doing. And you will go to hell if you play with your life right now. You have been warned. This is Rap the News.